Hey there friends, Lisa Engles here to do a Winter Solstice Oracle reading with you. This will be a 3-card reading. This is such an important time of year to get a little bit of guidance from the Oracle. We're of course moving from darkness and into light, so we can ask the Oracle what's ready to be revealed, what's ready to be let go of at this time as we move into the new year. So we're going to just dive right into this reading. Let's go ahead, shuffle the cards and pull the cards, and then I'll go ahead and unpack the reading for you. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and unpack this oracle reading. Now, really quick, as you know, or maybe don't know, an oracle reading is not predictive. That means it's not going to predict the future for us. Rather, an oracle reading is prescriptive. It gives us guidance. It tells us where are some places that we should be looking that we might not be seeing. It's going to give us some support and guidance on our path. So in this reading, we've picked 3 cards. The first card represents our theme card, the overarching theme. The second card represents our unseen challenge. And the third card represents our unseen opportunity. So we're going to take a look at each one of these, beginning with the first card, which is the intuition card. So for each of the cards in this oracle, what we have is a word or a principle at the top, and then we have 2 interpretations of that word based on if you are abiding in your true nature or not. So if you're abiding in your true nature, the top interpretation is going to be how you will experience that word or principle, and the bottom interpretation is when you're not abiding in your true nature, how you'll experience this word or principle at the top. So the way I'm going to unpack this reading for us is I'm going to read for you the top interpretation and the bottom interpretation. And then what I'd like for you to do is to consider where between these 2 interpretations do you land on a day-to-day basis? Where do you find yourself? Neither one is right or wrong. It's just sort of a guide, like where am I landing right now? After we look at that, then I'll unpack the card a little bit more for us. So for intuition, the top interpretation, when you're fully abiding in your true nature, how you'll experience intuition is as a non-emotional, intuitive faculty of consciousness, connection to the underlying pattern of reality. Now, when you're not abiding in your true nature, how you'll experience intuition is mistaking emotions, especially strong or intense emotions, as markers of the truth, justifying actions based on intense feelings as opposed to clarity of mind and heart. So with intuition being our theme, what the oracle is telling us is that as we move into this new year, it's time to trust our intuition, trust our deepest inner knowing, Now, one of the things that I like to compare this to, and that I see so many of my clients doing, is what I call outsourcing our intuition. We go to friends, we go to colleagues, we go to peers, we go to Facebook, we write a post on Facebook asking for people's opinion instead of trusting our own inner knowing. And what happens is when we start to do this, outsource our intuition in all these different places, it makes us confused. It makes us doubt ourselves, and it actually inhibits us. It keeps us from moving forward. So what the Oracle is telling us is that as we move into this new year, it's time to start trusting our intuition. When we trust our intuition, the experience is that we're connected to the deeper underlying pattern of reality. Now, intuition is very different from emotion. It's not the same as emotion. So we want to be careful. What the Oracle is telling us is we need to be careful about interpreting our emotions as intuition. Intuition is not emotional. It doesn't have a strong feeling. So if you find yourself really trying to justify, I know this is right because I feel in my gut that this is right, that's probably not intuition. That's probably a strong held belief as opposed to intuition. Here's the thing. On the non-dual path, intuition doesn't have a preference of what's right or what we would consider or judge as right or wrong. In fact, sometimes a deep intuition might at first feel like, that's not what I would normally do. That seems like sort of the opposite of what I should do. And the reason why is this, is because our intuitive faculty of knowing doesn't care about what you want and what you are desiring necessarily. It cares only about what is the highest good and of benefit for you and for all of those concerned. So, intuition, this is a big one, and it's a beautiful, beautiful theme to be working with over the course of the coming weeks as we move into the new year. All right, so our second card is the dissolution card. And remember, this card is our unseen challenge. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'll read both interpretations, see where you land in these two, between these two interpretations. All right, so the top interpretation, when you're fully abiding in your true nature, how you'll experience this principle. The recognition that death is part of a natural cycle and the deeper pattern of reality. You understand that all phenomenal experiences are impermanent. Now, the bottom interpretation is you have an aversion to or fear of death, whether it's the death of a relationship, an experience, or a situation in life, or the actual death of yourself or a loved one. All right, so this is our unseen challenge. So what the Oracle is asking us to consider here is what our relationship is to impermanence. In the tantric view, there are 5 different actions of the divine, and they are creation, maintenance, dissolution, concealing, and revealing. When we understand that this context, that everything is born, is sustained for a certain period of time, and then eventually dies, then it helps us to deal with life a little more gracefully. So consider this unseen challenge of dissolution, of death. Where in your life are you afraid of death? Where might it be time to look at the truth that everything is impermanent, nothing lasts forever? And instead of feeling afraid of it or sad about it, recognizing that it's just part of the natural cycle of life. Everything comes and everything goes. But when one thing leaves, another thing is going to come in, right? So that's our dissolution card. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final card, which is the wisdom card. Now, the wisdom card is our unseen opportunity. So once again, I'll read both interpretations for you. So the top interpretation is your understanding of yourself and life comes from direct experience rather than intellectual knowledge. And then the bottom interpretation is, while you may have read a lot of books, attended seminars and courses, true wisdom eludes you because it can't be gained through conceptual knowledge. So this is the unseen opportunity for us, and that is that wisdom doesn't come from reading more books or watching more videos or going to more lectures and seminars. Wisdom comes through having a direct experience of life. It's the having an immediate contact with life. So what that looks like is experiencing things free from any ideas or prior to any ideas or stories we may have about them. So this is actually a practice. It's not something, as I sit here and tell you this, it's not something that you're going to conceptually be able to understand. And that's what this card is telling us, that having true wisdom requires direct experience. Another way to, an analogy I might use for this is you could read all the books that you want about running a marathon, right? And I always use these athletic metaphors because that's my background is as an athlete. You could read all the books about reading a marathon and know exactly what types of workouts to do and what you might experience over the course of these 26.2 miles. But that's just conceptual knowledge about running a marathon. It's not actually doing all the work and having the direct experience of running a marathon. It's not until you actually strap on those shoes and go out and run a marathon that you have direct experience of what it's like to run a marathon. So in the same way, what we want to do on this path, on the spiritual path, is begin to have direct experience of life instead of creating stories or ideas about what we think life is, right? So this is how we acquire true wisdom. So just to recap on our spread here, our theme card is intuition. We're being guided to continue to trust our intuition, or if we haven't been trusting our intuition, to begin to cultivate our intuition. Stop outsourcing our intuition. We're being guided to see that death, dissolution, impermanence is part of a larger cycle of how reality works. Everything is born, is sustained for a period of time, and then dissolves or dies. Everything is impermanent. So letting go of things that are ready to be let go of at this point is part of our unseen challenge. And that's what it's asking us to do, is to notice, okay, some things are ready to be let go of right now, and this is part of a natural cycle that's happening. And then finally, our opportunity is wisdom. Wisdom not from books or from lectures or watching more videos and acquiring more intellectual knowledge, but our unseen opportunity is to begin to have a direct experience of ourself and of reality. And that direct experience is going to help us to abide in our true nature. And when we abide in our true nature, we begin to experience a deeper sense of peace and connection and clarity in our life. So thank you so much for joining me in this Oracle spread. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them in the comments below. I do respond. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.